flip.
There
we
you
go.
go.
That's what you're looking for. That's what you're here for. So hopefully you can
Sorry,
hear me with
guys.
the audio down like this. So I didn't have a spot to mount it today. So it's just hanging out low. Let me know in the comments if you can't hear me with the audio. You got to see Patrick, which you don't often get to see. Man in the camera. And here we have the 2023 Bentley Flying Spur Speed. And the Speed model, if you guys don't know, is the only way you can get the 6-liter W12 engine still in this car. They're discontinuing it for all the other versions of the Flying Spur, and they will soon, not sure how soon, but discontinue this engine just completely across the Bentley range. So we have, Patrick has sent some of the questions that were asked on the YouTube community page and on Instagram. If you want to follow me there, it's just @milesper, just like the channel name. And on the YouTube community page, if I ask the question early, you can get your questions in early, and therefore we can filter those in throughout the video. But thank you everyone who has tuned in live, and we're going to talk about the Flying Spur before we talk about the next vehicle I'm going to get. And Patrick knows what it is.
Someone already said that. New vehicle already?
Yeah.
Hey,
New
why
vehicle,
not?
yeah. I am going to talk about the car I'm going to get. But let's start with just questions about the Bentley Flying Spur Speed. And anyone who's tuning in asking questions, we'll get to theirs first.
Okay, we can start with the first question. It's by Anthony. Is the new car an SUV?
Okay, so the first question, I guess, is not about the Flying Spur. It'll be about the car I'm getting. It is not an SUV. So I know that would actually make a lot of sense. I've got a family, I've got 2 kids, and my wife.
That's what I said too.
That's what Patrick said as well. At some point down the road, I'll get an SUV or just a family vehicle, maybe be a van. But for now, this is not going to be an SUV.
Crew asks, what is the best Bentley engine?
Man, honestly, I love this W12, but the standard V8 that's actually shared with a variety of different like Volkswagen Auto Group vehicles, it's in Porsches, is it any VWs? I'm not sure, but it's definitely in the Bentley. But that V8, the 4-liter twin turbo, is so good. And the way that it's used in this car, it's plenty of power. It's like 542 horsepower, and it suits the car really, really well. So while I love this twin turbo W12, and I'll be sad when it's gone, I actually think I like the V8 better. And it's 50 grand cheaper than the Speed.
Well, most of the questions are related to your new car. Do you
want to? We can talk about those. That's fine.
All right. Can you please give us a hint as and what to your into what you're ordering by Holden?
Holden asked for a hint. Okay. So I'm trying to think of, well, okay, I gave a hint, actually.
You did.
On Instagram and on YouTube community page, I shared some images.
Yeah. And I thought about it, and I was like, oh, wait, but.
Now it makes sense now that you know,
now
right?
it makes sense, yeah.
So, like, you have to kind of know what the images might represent, and within the car space, I'll give you 2 hints. One, this new car is a new vehicle. It's something that was introduced pretty recently. And 2, am I going to give that hint? Not yet. 2, it will, let's just say, complement my Blackwing very well. It'll make for a tandem effect in my garage. So those are the hints and the images that I showed, which were what looked to be a plume of smoke, looked to be some fire or something burning, and some agriculture.
Yeah, now I understand.
Yeah, now it makes sense.
Okay, Adrian asks, so is this the last Spur with the engine before it goes EV next year?
Yeah, so I mean, there's already a plug-in hybrid version of this car. I don't know if next year it's going to go full EV. I know they're moving in that direction like most of the industry, but I do know that this is either the last model year of this engine or it's one of the last model years. I just know the Speed is the only way you can get this engine for the Flying Spur.
Let's see. Do you prefer the Continental GT or the Flying Spur?
Actually,
I don't know if you guys can see it, but the color's green. It's like such a nice green. Looks black.
It's a really cool green. Actually, the sun's kind of peeking out a little bit. You'll probably see it a bit better. But when it's in shadow or clouds, it does look black. But it's really deep green. They call it emerald, dark emerald. Pretty sure, dark emerald. I prefer the Flying Spur. I like the 4-door setup. I think it actually suits the design of this vehicle even better than the Continental GT. And while the performance of the Continental GT might be a little bit better, weighs just a little bit less, the performance of this is actually great. And within its own segment that it competes against with like the Rolls-Royce Black Badge, the Ghost Black Badge, and the Maybach S680, this is the sportiest for sure.
Would you consider this the greatest luxury car ever made?
Oh, ever made. That's a bold claim. Uh, where do I even start with that one? The greatest luxury car ever made. So how would we define luxury? Luxury is a certain posh look. It's quality of materials. It's ride comfort. It's smoothness of the powertrain. Greatest ever made. It's definitely up there. I would have to think about a thing that I would think is greater. I mean, its competitors also offer some pretty impressive luxuries.
I can see the green kind of now.
Yeah, now you can kind of see it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's what you personally would define as the more important luxury aspects of the car that are going to help you solve that question. So, for example, if you think that luxury car is also having the most space inside the car and the best technology, then you might think that the Maybach is the best luxury car ever made. Or if you think it's just the quietest and the smoothest ride, then it might be the Rolls-Royce for you. So this has those two things, but to a lesser degree than the two vehicles I just mentioned, while, in my opinion, having a better exterior design and more impressive dynamics.
Supercar Spy guy asks, what is the highest speed you could hit on the 241?
I don't know. I keep it pretty modest on that road, to be honest. I do all my testing for. I never do a high-speed run because I don't have access to a closed course or anything like that. But I do all my enthusiastic driving, let's just say, on another road, and I don't know how fast.
In Mexico.
In Mexico, yeah, in Mexico. Pause 1 second. Here,
yeah.
You just show the profile of the car.
Okay.
So I think it's show the side views and the rear too. It's getting bright for me.
What is the most expensive option? Jaden asked.
I thought that was a great question. For a car like this, where this one as tested is $323,000. You're like, okay, so it starts at $261 for the Speed. That means there's got to be some options in there that are very expensive. The most expensive option is the Name sound system.
Oh.
So this sound system, it's 2,200 watts. It's a 19-speaker sound system. It is incredible. The quality is excellent. It's not the best sound system I've ever heard, but it's very, very good. Really just clear notes. It doesn't have distortion as you crank the volume, and the bass is just right. I love the speaker covers. Like this one is part of the leather, and then the one up front is a little more stylized.
The inside.
Yeah, right? Like green on green. It's so good. And then, yeah, this speaker cover is a little more ornate with the aluminum.
Oh, this was actually a good question. Can this car be serviced at a Volkswagen dealership?
That's a good question. I don't think it can be serviced at a Volkswagen dealership specifically. I think you'd have to go to a Bentley dealership. But, I mean, Volkswagen owns Bentley, so you can imagine there are some parts that are being shared. If it's going to be trim materials, I don't think Volkswagen has really any trim pieces that are shared with this. So it'd have to be a mechanical piece. Obviously, Volkswagen is not using a W12 motor in their regular cars, but there might be some like oil reservoirs or things like that could be shared with Volkswagen dealerships. But you probably can't take this into a Volkswagen dealership. It's got to be a Bentley dealership.
Coffee asks, do you feel like the Panoramic Turbo DNA when you drive it, or is it all Bentley feeling?
It's a good question. So, I mean, he's asking because they share the platform.
Yeah.
So the Panamera also, that same platform underpins this Flying Spur. What you feel, if anything, that's shared is its body control. So this has active anti-roll bars. You can get the Panamera with active anti-roll bars. So it's actually pretty in control of itself through a corner, despite being 5,600 or 5,700 pounds. So, like, that is one thing that's very Panamera-esque. Like, the Panamera is one of the best of its segment in terms of handling and body control. And that's one thing you definitely get from this. This also has a 3-chamber air suspension like the Panamera, or at least in some trims on the Panamera. And it's similar, but I would actually say that, the ride quality is even better in this. So you don't drive this and go, I'm driving a Panamera, right? That I want to be very clear about. It feels very distinct, but if you think really hard about it and you're feeling out all the dynamics of this car, there's some similarities.
Are there any special features you can show us that this car does?
Oh yeah, so we've got a couple.
That's a good question too.
Yeah, it's a great question. So first, let me just put the car in accessory mode.
I like the wheels, man. Those wheels are nice. Wow.
And doing that, yeah, the wheels are like this.
Yeah.
What do they call it? But it's like a burnished bronze
Yeah.
or a nickel. And I think it's really cool. This does have a little bit of brake dust on it because I was driving it enthusiastically. So one of the cool features is
E.T. Julian, how you doing, man? Thank you.
So this screen can come out,
Oh, wow.
and from here, I can. It's kind of hard. There's
Yeah,
probably
you're
a lot
not
of
gonna
glare
see
on it. But I can.
No, you're not. Gonna
I can
see
adjust like the climate control. I can make the blinds go up and down. Let's do that. Let's just make the blinds go up and down. Open all. Actually, close all. So it's making all those.
Yeah.
It's closing the sun blinds up top, and it raised the blind in the back. Then I can open all. That's going to go down. I could also, from here, this is really cool. You can
From
adjust the
that,
ambient
right?
lighting, yeah, and I can make so let's go to the front. So the Flying Bee hood ornament,
Ooh.
I can make this go down.
That's
And then
really
I
cool.
could, of course, make it come up.
That's
It just
crazy.
feels like a little bit
That's
of a video
crazy.
game. Like I'm just like holding my console.
Oh,
here.
even the lights. Wow.
Yeah, the lights are really cool.
Yeah.
Cut crystal, that's another great feature.
Has like a tinnish bluish or around the. Am I seeing that right?
Yeah, no, you are. It's a blue hue for the LED lights.
E.T. Julian asks, how is the paint quality?
I have not seen any like marbling. No, what do they call that? When the like orange peel, like none of that.
Can you
stuff.
open the trunk? They want to see the trunk.
Yeah, do the trunk.
I always love the backside of the Bentleys. I just think it's like classic.
Yeah, really
just
classic. And
yeah.
the B in the taillights,
Yeah.
too, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So this is the trunk. It's actually not massive. It's
Yeah.
And you can't like fold down the seats or anything. There is a pass through for skis, but it's funny. It's like locked, and I couldn't find the key to unlock it. So the trunk's like, I want to say 14 cubic feet, which is big, but it's not cavernous. And there's like not like ultra thick carpets back here. They're like nice feeling carpets, but like Rolls Royces, like you get.
Oh
that,
yeah,
you
no,
get that
they're
super thick carpeting.
that was kind of crazy.
Which is a pain in the butt to clean, but it looks and feels really nice.
This or the Maybach?
Yeah, I'll have to leave verdicts, like full-on verdicts for my review. That is gonna come out soon. But I'll say that kind of what I said earlier. This is a little different from the Maybach, which is a little different from the Ghost Black Badge. The Ghost Black Badge is really focused on, one, it's like that wow factor, right? You threw 450,000 on a sedan, like that's gonna get some attention. But it's also like the really, really quiet cabin. Like it is serenity inside that vehicle, and the ride quality is pillowy. There's like nothing that rides like a Rolls. The Bentley has very good ride quality. It's the most stylish looking, and it's got the most athletic performance compared to the Maybach and compared to the Rolls. The Maybach has the most rear passenger legroom. So like when you open up the doors in the Maybach, like you're gonna see a ton of room between here and the back of the seat. It almost doesn't matter who's in the front seat. There's just that much legroom, and it's got really cool features. So like there's a console that comes out with tray tables, and you can get your champagne fridge, which you can get in this, and you can get in the Rolls Royce. But it's got like really nice screens, and just the tech and massages and features are really, really neat. But this has great features as well. It's not.
So the next question is gonna be a creak test. So do you want to go inside and see?
Let's do that.
Wow.
Every time someone says creak test, my immediate response is creep test.
Oh.
Like I'm not. So this does not. It has this what they call engine turned aluminum instead of having wood. So it's actually really,
That's
really
pretty
solid.
solid.
There's no creaks.
Yeah.
It's not carbon fiber. It's not wood. So it actually has great integrity. And I'm pressing key here on the leather. Oh, felt like a little something there. The gloss. This is wood. So this gloss black is not just plastic. It is wood. But very, very few creaks. There was a tiny creak here pressing on the chrome of the vents. That is about it. This is a really, really solidly built car. And
It
all the
feels
materials,
solid and it looks
yeah,
solid.
like it's
Yeah.
very well built, and all the materials are just gorgeous.
Okay, the next question. How much smoother is this than the S Class by Jose?
Yeah, and he was like, "Give me a percentage." He's like, "Give me a percent." I know he didn't. I didn't put that, but I remember him saying, "Like, give me a percentage. How much smoother is this than an S Class?" Um, Really, the biggest difference for me is not necessarily the ride smoothness, which is, I want to say, let's call it 15% smoother than an S Class. It's actually how the air suspension sounds when you go over like a bump, like a real bump. Let's call it a pothole. In the S Class, you hit a pothole and it kind of makes this crashy noise. But in the Flying Spur, it's very unlike normal air suspensions. It doesn't really crash, only over like, I'm talking like construction in the road. If you hit that, it might go like, but it's not like a massive crash that booms throughout the cabin. Whereas the S Class, you hit something in that, and that air suspension really does crash. So that's the biggest difference for me.
Okay. What is the most important thing to consider when buying a vehicle? By Juan.
I thought this was a good question, but it's also, I'm going to give you a very, I don't know, it's going to seem kind of like a pat answer. It's super relative. So for you, if you just want your car to always work, then you're going to care most about vehicle reliability. You're not going to want a car that is very great to drive when it's working, or has really awesome features when they're working. You're going to care about it always starting, it always getting you to your destination. But if you're a person who cares most about the engagement of a car, you may give up the fact that or you may accept the fact that it might not always work, or not every feature is going to behave as you expect it to. But when it does work, it's the most fun thing to drive in the world. And it kind of goes down the roster of like different characteristics of cars. So if I would say, if you're the average person who cares about getting to and from work, worry about reliability, worry about fuel economy, so you're not spending a ton of money every month in fuel. But
Price point too, because now like the new medium is kind of crazy. Like, for payment for cars, it's
it's
like
true. For 23, cars have
it's
gotten
crazy.
so expensive. It's
Yeah.
not even just the most expensive cars that have gotten more expensive. It's everything. Everything is just expensive. So you're going to also, yes, care about price, and you're going to care about finding a dealership that is going to be honorable
That is true.
in what
That
they
is dealership
do
for
and
sure.
say. And you're going to care about vehicle manufacturers who stand by their vehicles, who will issue recalls immediately, or even ahead of proactively ahead of the governing bodies actually saying you have to issue recalls. So yeah, there are a lot of factors, but I would just say, yeah, whatever is going to matter most to you, those are the things that you should look for most.
We got people tuning in from Argentina. He
Nice.
says big hugs from Argentina.
Hugs back to you.
Keys asks, from a scale of 1 to 10, how premium does a cabin feel?
So if we're going to call 10, what is 10? What's 10? Is 10 like a Bugatti? Because like even a Bugatti is like, it's a little plain in certain parts. So this, guys, honestly, this interior, the mix of dazzling surfaces like the turned aluminum, all the sumptuous leathers, and the feel of those leathers was just amazing. The
Yeah, the
suede,
green,
headline.
it's kind of weird, but it's a nice green. It's
Yeah.
like, it
It's
matches
not
the car.
like, it doesn't assault you,
Yeah.
right? In the same way this color on the outside
Ooh, these are nice.
isn't
Wow.
like a super bright green. This, guys, might be a 10. It's
Wow.
in the car world, this is at least a 9, and it may even be a 10. You're not going to find many cabins that are higher. He asked for quality specifically, or was it like just
let's see.
remember. Was it quality? I think it was quality.
Cabin feel.
Cabin
Just
feel.
how premium does
Yeah,
it
man.
feel?
This feels like a 10. It feels like a 10 in the car world, because there's so many other cabin designs and materials that are used, but I wouldn't say any of them are better.
From Instagram, would it be a good daily? Asked by Rodrigo.
Absolutely.
Or Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, this would be absolutely
Yeah.
a great daily
course.
driver. It's comfortable. It looks amazing. It's super smooth, and the power is definitely there.
Coffee asks, is there a phone Bentley app that allows you to remote start and turn on the AC to keep the cabin cool?
I
Fuel
would be
status,
shocked if there isn't. That seems like something that the Volkswagen Auto Group certainly does with some of their other cars. So I would be shocked if there isn't an app. So many, especially high-end vehicle manufacturers, are doing apps for those features, kind of like a pay-for service. So yeah, there's got to be some sort of app that'll
Yeah,
let
the
you do this.
headrests look comfy. That's
They're
kind of
really nice. Like especially the back ones. The back ones even better because they're not like the fronts have like the winglets on them to like kind of like an airline.
Oh,
But these are like
they have the
super pillowy.
pillows. Yeah.
They're really good. And
Wow.
Patrick, don't worry, that's where you're gonna spend the rest of the live Q&A when we're driving around.
Is it really? Oh, we haven't even talked about that. How much is it? No one has asked that.
$323,000.
Wow.
So the speed model, which this is, starts at 261, which is 50 grand more than the V8 model and the plug-in hybrid model, which both start around 211. So yeah, it's a ton of money, but like I said, if you care about the things that this car is offering, which is dynamics within a ultra luxury segment and interior design and materials and platform integrity, build quality, and engine smoothness and uniqueness, it doesn't get much better, guys. It doesn't. It's probably worth that money, you know?
Okay, Mr. Costa Rica Ball official asks, how do you feel about your Blackwing, my dream car?
How do I feel about it? I love that car. I adore my car. I don't regret a single day of ownership of that car. And I've got a ton of content coming out. One video, yeah, hopefully you guys saw. If you haven't, I'll make sure that it's linked or whatever. The video of my after break-in period, where I was actually able to like get on the car a little bit more. I had that was fun. I made a video that'll air pretty soon here of all the things I love most about the car. So I just made a little list of like, these specific things are my favorites about the car, and then I'm going to make a list about the things that are most annoying about my car, just to be fair. And yeah, just every time I drive it, after hopping out of something very good, I go, oh, this is what a great manual feels like. Oh, this is what a really robust powertrain feels like. This is what excellent ride quality feels like. I kid you not, I get out of this and the ride quality of this, and I go into the Blackwing, and it's a little worse, yeah, but it's not much,
Yeah.
which is so crazy. So yeah, for me, I talk to people and they're like, so what car do you want? A Cadillac. They're like, how old are you? I'm like 32. They're like, you're the only 30-year-old I know with a Cadillac.
Well, that's a different though. That's a different Cadillac.
It's a different Cadillac, yeah, that's for sure. Like I feel like I have to justify it in that way, but frankly, like I don't. Like it's the things I care about: smoothness, comfort, not only like just high performance threshold, but like a ton of engagement from that performance. It hits all of those boxes. It's an incredible car. Would buy it over any, like.
What's the name of the color? Someone said Rapid Blue or?
Oh, electric blue.
Oh, Electric Blue. Sorry,
Yeah.
MVP. That's the name of the.
That's for the Blackwing. That's the name of the color. Should we go for a ride?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, hop in the back. And then we'll go take it for a spin. And while we're taking it for a spin, anyone who has questions about the car I'm going to get, we can start to answer some more of those. And maybe along the drive or when we get back, I'll reveal what car I'm actually going to get. If anyone has guesses, I'd love to hear them. Or I could probably give you one or two more hints as we're driving around. Let's start in the Bentley mode, kind of like the normal drive mode for this car.
Did you order the car already? Because people are asking, what is the color of your new car, or do you want to keep that?
Oh man,
because I mean, if you say that, I think
if I tell you the color, you're gonna know right away.
Yeah.
Let's just say, in the same way that I chose a bright, exciting color for the Blackwing, I've also chosen a bright and exciting color for this new vehicle that I'm about to buy. And yes, I did already order it.
Oh wow. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, this is a cool message. Just want to say that your channel is very important for me. I am a huge car enthusiast, and your videos make my day. Cool, man. That's great.
That's really that makes me so happy.
Hassan.
Hassan, that's why I do this. I do this so that I can share my passion with other people, and the goal is that I would just, I don't know, embolden them in their passion for cars, and just offer something that they look forward to. They look forward to the content. Thanks for saying that.
Do a 360, please turn.
Do a 360 turn? Oh, they want a U-turn? Oh,
Yeah.
darn, I would have gone back there to do it. I'll do a U-turn up there, and it'll be cool because this has rear-wheel steering.
Oh, cool.
So it actually turns around really, really good. And I mean, I'll do all this stuff also in the POV drive review and the horn test and the turning radius test and all that.
DJ Shadow said, does it have self-closing doors like the Genesis G90?
Yeah, so here, we're sitting at the light. Patrick, you open your door.
Uh-huh.
And, oh, sorry, it doesn't have self-close, but it has soft close.
Oh,
so,
soft close.
You closed it too hard.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you gotta close it a little softer,
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
There
hard
you
to, I
go.
mean,
Yeah.
like, for him, it's hard to show because it's right over his shoulder, but the doors do close themselves, or they soft close themselves. So it just kind of brings it into the last little bit, it'll just close it for you. But no, there is not, like, in Rolls Royces or in the Genesis. That's one feature, it's a great point. I would love to see that in this car.
The self-closing doors?
The self-close, like just hitting the button and
yeah.
having it close itself. Because I found myself using that all the time, just for, I don't want to reach out my arm and grab the door if it's too far away. Like, it's a really nice thing. I realize that that's totally completely unnecessary, sure, but that's kind of this car, right? You're buying excess and you're buying surplus. So why not have doors that close themselves?
Olivo said hello.
Hello.
He's a subscriber.
Thank you for tuning in and being a subscriber.
Okay, the seats are nice, man.
Really, right?
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
those back seats are so comfortable.
Would you drive this car or sit in the back?
I would drive it.
Yeah.
I would drive it because as good as those back seats are, and they are very, very good, this car, unlike the Rolls-Royce and unlike the Maybach, is actually really fun to drive. Like when you push it, you can take corners in it. It'll handle itself. The W12 has 626 horsepower, which I feel bad. Well, let me go back to our parking spot. I'll pop the hood, so I didn't show you that.
Oh, yeah.
And I haven't revved it either, so I'll do that. Yeah, the 6-liter W12 makes 626 horsepower, 664 pound-feet of torque. It'll do 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. And the top speed is the highest of any sedan you can buy, 207 miles per hour.
Wow.
It's ludicrously fast. Oh, other features. You guys were like, hey, what are other cool features? Check this out.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I love that.
That's so cool.
The rotating screen, you got the 3 dials here. This one's for the air temperature, this one is for a compass, and this one is a lap timer.
That is so sick.
But it's really rad, and you can just do it whenever you want. Also, when the car turns off fully, it flips
goes
over
back.
once more, and it just is like, it's just this trim. How good is the ride quality back there?
Oh, super nice. It's
really smooth.
Yeah, it's I love the interior. Like, so it kind of reminds me of my GL and stuff because it was like a customer's custom order.
Nice.
So it has like a blue tinnish my car, but this has like that green, but it's like not noticeable. Like I love this color, man.
Yeah, it's not like an assaulting green.
Yeah,
it's not
it's
really bright. It's kind of
very
really
subtle.
mellow.
Yes, it makes the car and these seats, man. Holy smokes.
And you've got massage. You've got heating and ventilation. Massage, I think, is on the door. I gotta massage my seat. What am I doing? Choose the lumbar massage. Why not?
Yeah, so it kind of reminds me of my car because I have like 3 tones. It's like blue, gray, and a brown. And this kind of reminds me of it. I mean, obviously not the high quality
but
as
the
this.
idea,
and
right?
stuff,
Like
yeah.
the idea of like little subtle touches. Yeah, and this 12-cylinder engines, whether it's a V12, W12, whatever, they're so great because they don't have to try at all. They're just like lazily like churning those cylinders and you're just making effortless power.
Hassan said, Bentleys are my favorite cars. Do you think it will retain the value in a few years?
Anything in this like super high-end segment is, especially I would say the Maybachs especially, will lose their value really quick. This will lose its value. It'll at least lose like 30-40% of the value like within a year or two. That's just the sad reality of like very complex luxury high-tech cars. Like they don't hold value super well. The Rolls-Royce will also lose value.
And a lot. I think those are more than Bentleys. Or I don't know. From what I see and stuff, I think
they lose a ton of value. Yeah, I mean they can. So like, how great was that turning?
Oh yeah. Wow.
Zoning was amazing.
Suspension is...
Suspension great. The rear wheel steering system's great. And then it's just super smooth. So I'm going to go into sport mode now and just let's see the W12 do its thing.
Okay.
And what's crazy about this car is it just keeps accelerating.
Wow.
It has so much power, and it's geared in such a way that for high speeds, I mean, you see the top speed 207, like it just
pulls.
It just pulls.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a Urus right there.
And I'm sure the car is pretty heavy.
Oh yeah, it's 5,600 or 5,700 pounds.
Wow.
It's kind of wild.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
While someone said this, diecast rides. While the top speed is insane, these cars are much more for luxury. I feel like I would rather have something with few features, and is the pure driving ability like the GT RS.
Oh,
or
yeah.
GT4S. Oh my goodness, Lord. Holy.
I wouldn't say that is just
wow.
luxury. I would say there's a little bit of performance there too. So he was saying he'd rather have something with fewer features?
Yeah, like the GT4 RS.
Oh, I see. Okay, so yeah, I mean, yeah, you're a performance car person. Yeah. Like that's what you're talking about, and I am too, right? Like, but I think you could have, like, if you've got the money, you can have both, right? You can have both experiences. You can have the very luxurious experience. All fun on the weekends. You pull out your GT3 or your GT4 RS, and you just have a great time.
Wow, Miles, this is like, it's pretty rad.
That's how it does both, right? Like how it just merges both worlds is pretty crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, the launch control is just hilarious.
And it's like nothing.
Yeah, no, it's just the W12 doesn't have to try all that hard. Don't worry. The all-wheel drive system, like, doesn't have to try. Like, it just is like, here, we'll put all of that power down, no problem.
Coffee said, we can clearly hear the shiz, but do you feel it shifting gears?
You don't really feel the
shift.
shift.
It's just crazy.
At full throttle, you feel like a little, like very, very small amount. But when you're just driving around, no, this 8-speed is buttery smooth. Especially if you go into like comfort mode, then you just don't feel anything.
Wow.
And it is a torque converter automatic. It's not a dual clutch.
There's a YouTuber and stuff that actually has this car, and he loves it. I forgot his name and stuff, but
I could easily see myself loving this car. I kind of get the same vibes. I mean, a similar kind of blend of performance and luxury as the Blackwing, right? Obviously, the Blackwing being a third the price, but the kind of the merging of the worlds of not really having to give up so much, but getting so much in terms of both performance and luxury.
Yeah, this is really nice. Yeah, definitely now I could see, like, definitely I want to drive the car, not be in the back.
Yeah, man, it's and I haven't even taken a corner. It's really impressive when you do. Okay, I'm gonna give another hint about the car I'm gonna get. It is rear-wheel drive, and it has 2 doors.
And 4 wheels.
Yeah, 4 wheels, 2 doors, 4 seats, rear-wheel drive. Those are 3 hints.
I think people are going to be surprised because I was surprised.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I was obviously just trying to get to it, but...
I think if you've seen some of the videos on my channel, and the ones that people keep like coming back for more, I think the car won't be terribly surprising in that way. But yeah, if you might be like, oh, I thought he scratched that itch, but I hadn't. So.
Wow. Yeah. How many horsepower does it have?
That's a lot.
This car.
Oh, this car?
This car.
626.
Watch it be another V.
Oh my gosh. I was just like, let's do 2. I'll get an automatic and no, I couldn't even get the automatic. I would just get 2 manuals, which would be pointless. I have a friend with 2 Blackwings. Interesting thing. But he got the money, man.
Lake Nono Sports naturally aspirated.
Oh, this next car I'm gonna get?
Yeah.
Or this one? This one's twin turbo. The one I'm gonna get it's forced induction. It's forced induction.
Is it a BMW coupe?
It is not a BMW coupe.
GT350.
Another car I would love to own, frankly. I would love to own a GT350R, but I have to go back in time to get one of those. No, it is not a GT350R.
I told you Mustang, huh?
Yeah, you also
Yeah.
guessed Mustang. That was one of the first things you guessed.
Yeah.
You're like, Mustang. I was like, no, I mean, I like Mustangs. I like certain Mustangs. Like that 350R is still definitely a dream car. I love that car. But yeah, no, not this time around.
Yeah, the shifter's really nice.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
The leather on that?
That's like quality. That's like even, I mean, Bentley.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, this is not like cheap chrome. Like, it's
Yeah.
funny because like you see, if you just look at the car, you're like, oh yeah, other cars have those things. But it's like when you get close and you see the details, you go, oh, okay, I see.
Nick asked, is the car a special limited edition?
It is limited, and the production numbers are limited. And
Oh, wow.
They will
I didn't know that.
They will not be making another thing like it. Let's just put it that way.
Let's see, Toyota Grand
Pop the hood.
Highlander. What's that?
I'm gonna
Oh, you want to see the...
Someone asked about the Grand Highlander?
Yeah. Toyota Grand Highlander, Kia, Hyundai Passade,
Hyundai Palisade.
and
Kia.
Honda Pilot.
Honda Pilot. So Charlie went on the first drive of the Toyota Grand Highlander. Really liked it. That video is coming out very soon, as soon as the embargo lifts. But I haven't driven it, so I can't really compare it. I can say I love the Palisade. I really do. Not how it looks, but I like the other features. Honda Pilot. Have driven the new one. Do like it a lot. Yeah, not having driven the Grand Highlander personally, I can't really say. But I will say, Charlie very much enjoyed it, so that'll be a good video. I'm going to pop the hood because you guys were asking about it. Oh, but it's going to be scorching hot, so... yeah, because I tried this before, and it was so hot. It's warm on the outside. On the inside, it's scalding. Finally released. Yeah.
V12.
Okay, W12. 2 6-cylinders mated up right next to one another. 6 liters. I don't know if I said that. 6 liters. 626 horsepower. Oh, I don't have my mic on. Sorry guys, probably didn't hear anything I just said. So 6 liters, and I was remarking about how hot the hood was. 6 liters, twin turbo, 2 V6s mated up next to one another, 626 horsepower, 664 pound-feet of torque, 8-speed automatic, 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. We won't see that. You know what's kind of amazing to me? This is not a huge engine bay. And it kind of is like, because of the way a W12 is arranged like this, it's wide and not super deep, like a V6 or like a V8 or V10 or V12. So it worked perfectly for this engine bay. It's a very wide car. It's got these strut braces, but it's not a super deep engine bay, despite the long hood. I mean, you've got your intercooler, and you've got a lot of ventilation up front, so that accounts for a foot of space right there. But the engine itself is not crazy deep.
In Cars We Trust asks, do you feel that the Audi vibe with all the electronics?
No,
okay.
Not really. Like, I know what you're asking, because, I mean, obviously it's still Volkswagen Auto Group. No, actually, the reskinning that they do for the technology feels very Bentley. Like, yes, there are some things, the way that menus are arranged, and you know, the response on the screen and stuff, sure, is Audi-esque, but the things that you can do in this car, the different ambient lighting arrangements, and the air suspension adjustments, the raising of the hood ornament, all that is like distinctly Bentley. So it doesn't feel too Audi-esque.
How much horsepower does it have?
626. I'm going to give another hint for the car I'm getting. So I said, let's just recap. Rear-wheel drive, 2-door, 4 seats, limited production V8. V8, there's another hint. I said the color was pretty loud color, and what's another good hint? If I give this one,
Yeah,
people
nah.
can guess right away.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the exact horsepower. I can tell you it is among the most powerful new cars you can buy. It's among them. It's not the most powerful, but it's among the most powerful new cars you can buy.
Someone said dark horse, and that's what I told you too, huh?
Oh yeah, you also get. So it's not a Mustang. It's not a Mustang, not a BMW Coupe. Those both were asked. Any guesses? People still don't have it yet? Okay. Another hint. It is American.
That's what I wanted to ask you. I was like, because that could determine a lot.
Yeah, it gives a lot away.
Yeah.
Let's see if anyone guesses it at this point.
Challenger?
It is in the Challenger family, yes. It is in the Challenger family.
Is this better than a Rolls Royce?
So, like I will save my verdict on this car for my drive review, which will come out in 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. But I will say that there are certain things about this car I definitely prefer over a Rolls-Royce. I like the design better. I think that the interior, it has a little more style to it, a little more diversity of the different surfaces, materials, and designs. Rolls-Royce is a little too uniform for me. And the dynamic, the performance, the handling, straight line and in a corner, this is much preferred.
Z06?
Not
That's right, I said that. Corvette.
It's another good guess.
Yeah.
And I would love a Z06, but that's not happening this time around. I already
Scat
said,
Pack
guys,
Challenger? No, we already said.
someone already said it, like Challenger. It's in the Challenger family, so now you just have to guess. From there, it's not hard. From there, you can guess it. Limited
love the
production,
lights.
guys. Limited production. One of the most powerful cars you can buy. Challenger family. We have it?
Yeah. That was it?
Okay, guys. It is the 23 Dodge Demon 170.
That's crazy, man.
Ethanol burning monster. Rear wheel drive. Right now, on the right surface conditions, I know. Like, quickest production car you can buy. 1.66 seconds or whatever. I know a lot of that's marketing, right? In the real world, you never see that. But I've wanted a Challenger. I've wanted some Dodge performance car for a long, long time. And I didn't have the resources to acquire the original Demon. So this time around, 5 years later, I was not going to miss this opportunity to get a 170.
Someone guessed it right away.
They did?
Someone guessed it right away. If I go up and stuff, there's one person said it right, and I was like, oh, snaps.
Oh, okay.
And then, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
yeah.
then whoever guessed that.
You have to go back through the...
Whoever guessed it, comment now, like, honestly, like, if you had guessed it, like, originally, like, however many minutes ago was it?
E.T. Julian said congrats, Miles.
Thank
Subscriber.
you. Thank you. I can't wait to give you guys so much content on that car. Like, probably even more than I've done on the Blackwing. Like, yeah, I'll do a video pretty soon here of, like, how I spec'd it, because there aren't a crazy number of options for that car. But I'll do a video about how I spec'd the car, and then I'll do, like, here, I got the car, initial impressions in the car, living with it every day. I will find a way to get to a drag strip and try drag racing.
You have to.
Have to. I mean, it's a freaking drag car. But so much content coming up. But thank you guys.
Someone guessed it. I was gonna. I don't know if I could like hold that message and stuff, but someone did guess it right away. And then Will H said it too.
Will H said it too. Okay.
Well, I think someone said it before you, but I mean, you were one of those people too that said it right away.
Okay. Well, good guessing, guys.
They said, what are you gonna do with your Blackwing?
Blackwing's not going anywhere yet. Blackwing is not going anywhere yet. I love that car too much to let it go. And I wanted the most crazy modern muscle car garage, right? Like, you've got the handler, you've got the V8 Blackwing, which the manual transmission, sedan, practical, great ride quality, like insanely good on track. And then you've got the Demon, which is 2 doors, automatic. There's not a manual version. Ludicrously fast in a straight line, 1,025 horsepower. But like 2 of the last and finest examples of American muscle cars in the same garage. It's going to be 1,687 horsepower? No, 1,693 horsepower, I think, together, sharing 2 parking spaces. It's kind of crazy. So, yeah, it's gonna be kind of nuts.
E.T. Julian said, "Would you let Christina drive it?"
Yes. Yeah, she can drive it. I will find a way. First, I won't put ethanol in it, so it'll make a little less power, and then I'll try to like restrict it. Not that I don't trust her, I just like worry like she might accidentally like let it slip out or whatever. So yeah, but she can absolutely drive that car.
And Cars We Trust said, "Are you going to make any other videos with Forrest? I like it when you did the Tesla Model X. I really like the collab."
Oh yeah, yeah, and we did the Rolls Royce. He was in that video too. Yeah, it's been a minute. Well, we just did a Driven Diaries video not too long ago with Forrest. I interviewed him on that one. Yeah, I mean he's one of my good buds, so he'll definitely be another content for sure.
Yeah, hey, well, I think someone else did say it before you. I don't know who it was, but you definitely one of the people that said it right away.
Yeah, and if the person's no longer watching the video, sorry.
Yeah, I need to have to go back because it was in the super beginning.
Yeah, if they guessed it early on, like that's really impressive. Like, because we didn't give many hints.
No,
like,
yeah, I can. Oh, wait.
Oh, I guess the hints were just the images that I had shared. A couple people, so I'll be honest, a couple people in the YouTube community page did guess it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, during this video, I'm not sure.
Yeah, someone said it first. I was. Handful of everything said, how much does it cost and how much does it weigh? Are we talking about the new car or this car?
New car or this car? This car costs $323,000 and weighs 5,700 pounds. The Demon 170 starts at like 100,000, and I don't know the weight offhand. It should be around like 4,600 pounds, I think. Yeah.
Well, you guessed it too, Will. You're probably second person, maybe.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on the RAV4 Prime and the RAV4 V6?
Is there a RAV4 V6 at this point? I don't know if there's a RAV4 V6 anymore. I thought there were only 4 cylinders. I could be totally wrong. I don't think there's a RAV4 V6 anymore. I think it's just there's the Prime, which is a plug-in hybrid version of the regular RAV4. Maybe it is V6 powered. I can't remember. I do love the Prime. I really, really like the Prime. They've become so difficult to find because they're very much in demand. Great performance, like 300 horsepower, seriously quick, like quicker than a 2.0 liter Supra. And great efficiency in the 40 range with, I think, like 40 something miles of all electric range. They're great vehicles. I really like the RAV4 PHEV.
Shuts just donated $5. Love the channel. Purchased an IS 500 a few months ago. Your videos helped me. Thanks.
Awesome. Dude,
That's
thank
cool.
you. That's amazing feedback. I love when people, frankly guys, if any of you have bought a car that I have recommended or helped you in any way, make your purchase decision and you're ideally happy with your purchase decision, please let me know, because that just makes me happy. That's why I do this stuff. Yes, just to share my passion, but also to hopefully help people find the right car that have similar sensibilities, even if they don't. For example, even if you don't feel the same way as I do about certain cars, hopefully what I'm sharing is a refining process as you're car shopping. So, but that's so awesome. The IS 500 is mean. So I'm glad you like it and have it, and thank you for the donation. I really support it.
Are you going to do a POV drive review between the Bentley and the CT5 Blackwing?
No, I mean, no, I'm not going to do a comparison.
Different levels. I mean.
It's just, they're too different,
Yeah.
right? I did make a video, and it's coming out real soon, of the AMG GT63S versus the Blackwing. And the price delta between those is actually pretty significant. But they're both kind of going for similar things. They're both trying to be luxurious and sporty. The GT63 was like a 4-door coupe, and the Blackwing obviously a more traditional sedan. But yeah, not going to do a comparison with this and the Blackwing.
Do you want to discuss about the color? You haven't said anything about that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll share all of this in my what spec did I get.
Okay.
But let's just say, like, because there are actually quite a few really cool colors. Let's just say it's not blue. So it's not, even though my Blackwing is blue, I didn't go with blue. Blue looks good on some cars. I don't think blue looks good on the Demon, so I didn't get in blue. It's a historical color for the Dodge Challenger. Let's just put it that way. And
Oh,
it's
that
loud.
says a lot, yeah.
It does say a lot.
Let's see.
And yeah, like I just said, I will be doing a video about how I spec my car, when I'm expecting it to be delivered. They've given me a window, and all of my ideas for the content that I'm going to create with it. And there will be many more.
A few people always ask this question, stuff,
Yeah.
and it's a good question.
Yeah.
Diecast Right says, what got you to the point you are at now with YouTubing?
So I share some of this in my like 100,000 subscriber episode, where just kind of my journey. But like, I'm trying to think of a really condensed version. I started writing, so I was doing automotive journalism, like more traditional, like car writing for magazines and for online publications, and that's what got me connected with the car companies. So then when I was like, I want to do my own thing, I already had those relationships, and I was able to ask them for car loans, which then got me started being able to make content. And then slowly but surely I built an audience, and that kind of led me to what I'm doing right now. So I took a very more traditional approach before I went into YouTube. But frankly, I wouldn't do my approach. If you want to get there as quickly as possible, I don't know if I would take my approach, nothing wrong with my approach, but I don't think I would take it as the most expeditious way of getting to my place right now. I'd probably start making content pretty much immediately, and try to build up an audience that way with short form content. Like my friend Forrest, he makes a lot of short form videos for TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, and that grew him an audience very quickly. So I might do that instead.
Please tune into that video of the Lamborghini's, the off-road, and what it's called?
Oh, the Storado?
Please, because that video is kind of crazy, dude. Please, like, if you guys like tune into that, because
Patrick liked the Storado video. Yeah, that was probably the most fun I've ever had on a press launch, and it was real local to me, just in Palm Springs. The fact that you got to romp on a Huracan on the track and drive it straight off the track onto a dirt rally course was like, it was surreal. I couldn't really believe I was doing it. And then you're just like actually like ripping the thing.
Yeah, the video was pretty sick. I was telling him like, yo, I'm watching the video. I'm like, oh wow.
So yeah, I mean, thanks Patrick. I'm glad you liked it. And yeah, absolutely guys, go check that one out if you haven't seen it yet.
Any more questions, guys, about anything or?
Any other questions?
California Snake says, man, I love your videos.
Dude, thank you so much. Like that makes me happy. It makes me want to do this more.
I have some people here, so let's see. How fast does a Bentley go?
207. 207 miles per hour. This is crazy. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, look forward to a ton of content with the Demon 170. And my first video just being how I spec the car come out pretty soon here. I'm at least going to make the video like next week and hopefully get it scheduled pretty soon after.
That's crazy, man. Hey, congrats on the car, man. That's
Thanks, man.
It's a big deal.
And thank you for always helping me out with these
of course,
videos.
Man.
And guys, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, look forward to the Bentley videos coming out soon. And have a great rest of your weekend.
Oh, happy Memorial too.
Yeah, if you're in the U.S., happy Memorial Day.
All right, bye guys.
Bye guys.